Hey, what's going on, guys? Dvzl from Team Stand and Draw here, bringing you guys a late and overdue deck profile, my Aquaforce deck profile that I brought to Team League. That was a couple weeks back by the time of this recording. So I'm just gonna jump in and talk about the deck that I used. Starter I run is Bubble Edge Draco Kid. His ability is pretty good. I love his ability. He helps me get a couple cards in hand. His ability is I can put him in the soul to give one of my units on the field the new skill. If it's a fourth battle or more at this that the unit I give the ability to attacks the Vanguard, I can draw one card. So I have a little combo, but I'll do that towards the end. Let's start. I run trigger lineup. I run 4 heal. 4 heals pretty self-explanatory. 3 stand triggers. The one from the trial deck. His ability is Generation Break 1. At the end of the battle, when this unit attacked, it doesn't have to attack Vanguard. At the end of the battle, this is attacked. I can swap places with one of my units on the field, and I return the stand trigger back to the deck. So this helps me get to the 4th battle when I don't have my certain combo pieces. Next, I play 3 draw. 3 draw is this is just the trigger lineup I've been using nowadays. The draw trigger, put them in the soul, give it unit 3k, helps them hit numbers, especially for tag assault. So that's what I use him for. And last but not least, I play 6 crit. 6 crit because that's a trigger lineup, and 2 I play 4 of the crit that goes in the soul to unflip it damage. Usually if I run out of Counter Blast, but I usually know how to conserve it. To the side. I'm gonna go grade 1s. I play 2 Stacia. Stacia's ability is during my turn, this unit can attack from the back row, and if it attacks from the back row, it gets 3k. So her ability pretty good on Generation Break 1. Helps me get to the 4th battle pretty easy. Not much to say about her, just mainly just to get to the 4th build attack easier. Next I play 4 Orathea. I usually use her for her second ability, but if I need the first ability, I'll use it. So at the end of the battle, when she boosts once per turn, I can stand the unit the rear guard that I boosted and make it lose 5k. So pretty much giving Tidal Assault skill to a rear guard. Usually I just use her for her second ability, which her second ability is resist. My opponent can't target her for retire, lock, or any other abilities. So usually use it for that. Helps against the Narukami matchup or Kagura matchup. Next I play 4 Strife Fighter. Strife Fighter is pretty good, especially for this deck when you don't want to be pitching your 3s or pitching 2s and 1s. Strife Fighter is really the card you want to strive with. And last but not least, I play 4 of the generic perfect guards. I don't play the G perfect guards, not because I don't have them. It's because I like to protect my rear guards. So that's why I play the generic one. It could be any perfect guard, but just not the G one. All right. So that's the grade 1s. Grade 2s now. Tech cards. I play one of Saberflow Sailor. Sorry, I changed the name. Her ability is Generation Break 1. At the end of battle, when this unit attacks a Vanguard and is a 4th battle or more, I can retire her to draw 2 cards. She's a tech card, mainly for the hand power, because sometimes, my hand advantage is usually like low, like early game. Like I'll try to rush, so that's one of the ways I replenish it. Next, I play 2 High Tide Sniper. High Tide Sniper's ability is Generation Break 1. If it's the third if it attacks, if it's the 3rd battle or more, I get Soul Blast 1 for that unit to get 10,000 power. He's pretty good on the Lambros plays. Also pretty good with Orathea. Just pretty good, yeah. Next I play 4 Magnum Assault. Sorry. Magnum Assault, even though it's misprinted on here, his ability is Counter Blast 1. At the end of the battle, when this unit attacked the Vanguard, if it was boosted, I could stand it back up and it gets 2k. There's a ruling on him. His ability. If I attack the Vanguard and I'm not boosted, I can't do the ability, his skill anymore. So, just keep that in mind. He's similar to Tidal Assault, which is the last card of my grade 2s. Tidal Assault's ability is when he attacks a Vanguard, no matter whatever you're doing, you have to stand him back up. At the end of the battle, when you take a Vanguard, you have to stand him back up and lose 5k. So, usually for these two, I'll try to like swing at a rear guard, and then when I stand him back up, he still has the ability to use. Now onto grade 3s. Grade 3s, I play 1 Max. His ability, he's a tech card along with a Saberflow Sailor. So his ability is at the end of battle when he attacked the Vanguard, I can counterblast 1 to choose 2 of my units, swap them, and then choose 1 of my units, and that unit gets 2k. So he's a tech, and I enjoy the concept of his ability. I can like switch 2 units and then bump up 1 unit, and then because I don't have to give power to the 2 units that I swap, so I can like do some crazy things with his ability. So that's why I'm teching him in. Next I play. Ever since my old deck, I enjoyed this card, so I'm playing him again in my new deck. Tetra Drive Dragon. Tetra Drive's ability is at the end of battle when I attack the Vanguard, if it's the second battle of that turn, he gains a new skill, which is when one of my units attacks my Vanguard, attacks my opponent's Vanguard, and it's the 4th battle of that turn, I can counterblast 2, discard 2 cards, and stand him back up. So I enjoy his ability just for that, because like Tetra Drive got me a lot of games back then, so I kind of rely on him. Plus he's a restander, so why not? And his second ability I don't really use too much, but it's counterblast 1 for have this card to get 2k. So that's what I use. And last but not least, I'm playing 4 Dvzl. So Dvzl is, well, this combo for me personally, I love this combo. That's what makes the Aquaforce deck like the deck for me. So you see, I'll start off with Dvzl, and then if I'm not getting the right plays I need, I'll go into Tetra Drive. But Dvzl, his ability is Generation Break 2. When this unit attacks the Vanguard, if it's a 4th battle or more, my opponent cannot. He gains 1 critical, and my opponent can't call grade 0s to the Guardian Circle. Now, usually I use his ability when I see that my opponent has only been getting triggers and he hasn't been guarding with 0s. That's usually when I'll use the ability. And if I know my opponent doesn't have a perfect guard, that's usually when I'll use his ability. And his second ability is when my G unit strides on top. When one of my stride units strides on top of this unit, it gives the stride unit the new skill. When one of my units attacks the Vanguard, and it's the 4th battle of that turn, only the 4th battle, and on the 4th battle, if they attack the Vanguard, I can choose up to 3. I can choose 3 of my opponent's rear guards, and my opponent has to choose 1 to retire. So that's usually a skill I love to have, because it helps me to control somewhat what my opponent plays on the field. And if they don't want to play a full field, then I'm gonna choose that 1 unit, and you have to retire that 1 unit. So that's usually how I've been playing this deck. So let's get into the G zone. For G zone, it's kind of ridiculous actually. Kind of like all over the place, but I play 1 of the Fighters Collection card, Socrates. I play 1 just a second. I also play Dvzl, so I don't really use his ability unless I'm eating a lot of the damage, which I usually do. And usually he'd be like the flip up for Dvzl. So there's that. But the Fighters Collection card, when your unit attacks the Vanguard and it's the 3rd battle or more, when it attacks the Vanguard and it's the 3rd battle or more, I can counterblast 1 to give him 5k until I can give that unit 5k until the end of the turn. So I use him just because it's really, I don't know, it's just helps hit numbers, and it's a good power up, Next I play 2 of Titleborg. Titleborg helps me to get a lot of hand power with my starter and crazy combo. So his ability is 3rd battle turn. If this unit hits, I can draw 1 card and then choose what's 1 card in my hand, and I can call it. I don't have to call, but I could just draw for the free draw. And that's only if you hit, by the way. And last but not least, I'm playing 4 Lambros. So Took me a while to get these 4 Lambroses, but finally did it. And Lambros' ability is, at the 4th battle or more of the turn, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, I can pay the cost, which is to flip one of the Lambroses in my G zone face up, and I can stand 2 units. Then, if I have 2 or more units in my G zone face up, the 2 units that I stood get 10k power. So this is the that's usually the like finisher combo, or just to see if my opponent can last 2 Lambros turns. Nowadays, I think with all the G support coming out, I think people have been surviving Lambros a lot more easier now. I'm not too sure about that, but back at Team League, it's pretty hard to survive the second Lambros combo, especially if I got my engine going. So I got my good, I'm gonna show my good tech combo. Alright, so usually you like stride into title board. Probably should have had this set up, you know, ahead of time. So what I'll usually do is have a row of these 2. And then like my best row ever is like to have this draw trigger back here, because he's just the best draw. She's just the best booster ever. And then there's that. Now this is my way to draw 3 cards off of this starter. So what I usually do, and I usually need like at most 1 soul and 2 counterblasts. So what I'll usually do, I'll swing at this row, and you gotta make sure that you can, well, first things first, you put the star in the soul, and you give Title Assault the new ability. 4th battle turn, you can draw a card. So what you gotta do, whatever this column is or whatever, you have to make sure that your Vanguard is the 3rd battle turn. So you swing, do the counterblast, stand back up, swing. This will be the 3rd battle of the turn, and his ability is active. And say, you know, you get the hit off, drive check, you get 3, and then with the draw you get 4. And then for this whole column right here, for this column, you swing with Title Assault. The opposite skill goes off, you choose 3, your opponent retires 1, starter skill goes off, and you draw 1 more. Then you stand back up, lose 5k. You swing boosted now, and again you draw 1 more because Title Assault's out of the skill, and you draw 1 more card. Then you counterblast, soul blast, stand him up. At this point, he shouldn't be hitting anything, but as long as you attack the Vanguard, his skill still goes off because he doesn't have to hit. And then, you know, if you get the engine running, you can get a good couple of 7 cards. So that's my combo. I usually like to try and get it off, or usually if I have Title Assault on board and then like I draw into an Arthea, I'll call with a Title Borg's ability. So that's a deck. Hope you guys like it. Let me know how you guys feel about it in the comments below, and we'll try to get more videos up, but we'll see how that goes. See you guys later.